the hate. Why are so many fans hating on Caitlin Clark and Ronda Rousey, right? Now, of course, basketball is not MMA, but it's similar stories of how these two particular females got pushed to the top of their sport. Hey, what's going on, fight fans? Hey, this is Coach D, the Wild Man, coming at you again with another episode of Coach D Media. Now, you know how I do with Coach D Media. I talk about all things combat sports related, from the highs to the lows. All right, let's go ahead and get back into it. Today, we're going to talk about the hate. Why are so many fans hating on Caitlin Clark and Ronda Rousey, right? Now, of course, basketball is not MMA, but it's similar stories of how these two particular females got pushed to the top of their sport, right? Now, the question is, were they the right candidates to be pushed to the top of the sport, or that's simply just how it goes when it comes to media attention? All right. So let's start off with Ronda Rousey. Now, we all know who Ronda Rousey is. She's one of the female pioneers of combat sports, which means she was one of the first recognizable names in MMA for female fighters. Now, were there female fighters before her? Yes, like Cyborg and so on and so forth. But she was the one that was catapulted into stardom when she first really came on the scene. Now, her record was 12-2. Was that her record? Yeah, 12-2. Her only two losses were to Holly Holmes and Amanda Nunes. Now, when she first came in, she had legit accolades, so she was a judo gold medalist, basically blonde hair, blue eyed, what I'm saying? She wasn't a 10, but she wasn't ugly either, what I'm saying? So she had a viable enough look to get the job done. Now, it's arguably could be said, if Cyborg was just as attractive as Ronda Rousey, she could have got the top spot. So that was what a lot of these rough conversations were about, right? Why Ronda Rousey over Cyborg? Well, Cyborg was knocking everybody out. She was undefeated, beating up everybody. Why not her? Yada, yada, yada. So you know how it goes. Hate's going to come, so be it. But let's be real. This is the real conversation of why one person gets selected over another, right? So Ronda Rousey became the face of the UFC, right? Now, granted, she was beating up everybody. She was submitting everybody. She was doing her job, right? But the media was doing 10 times more for her than what she was just doing in the UFC. Winning doesn't mean stardom. She wasn't the best talker. She talked a little bit of shit. She had a little mean mug and all that kind of good stuff. But she wasn't no Conor McGregor. You know what I'm saying? She wasn't selling it like that. Media took her and made her where she was. Put her on all the media outlets, as a representative for a strong, independent woman, yada, 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 making tons of money. She was in movies. She started doing a lot early, real fast, right? Before you knew it, she was on top of the game. She was on everybody's lips. She was a household name real fast, right? So technically, she was considered the female great white hype. They put everything behind her. She was the one that's going to represent and take female combat athletes into the next generation. She was the one they were banking to show, hey, women can do it too. That was the whole persona. Okay. Now, after she started getting a little extra money, she get all this attention, it started going to her head. Now she can't handle it. All her stuff she started to keep on the wraps, started coming out. She was having mental issues. She was having mental breakdowns. She couldn't handle the pressure. She started dealing with media, right? She didn't want to be nobody to talk to her. She just wanted to show up and fight and leave. She didn't want to do everything that was required for the seat they gave her. Okay. And that's where the hate was coming from. She started being rude to people. She wouldn't do what she was supposed to do to continue to push the sport forward. That's where the hate came from. Okay. Because she made it all about her. Now, she realized the game she was in. The game is unforgiving. When they give you something, they want something in return. If you get all this money, you get all this attention, you get all this fame, you get all this popularity, they want something in return. She wasn't willing to do it. She got knocked out twice out the UFC. Now she went to WWE, right? They started doing the daughter of Roddy Piper persona, all that kind of good stuff. Had a little bit of run, still being the same old crazy person she always been, hating on everybody, yelling at everybody. Boom, now she's done, right? So your skills don't make you a star. The media makes you a star, but they want something in return, right? If you're not going to give them what they want in return, you're done, right? 1 minute, she's on top of the world. Another minute, don't nobody talk about her. If she was loved by the fans will still be talking about her, keeping her relevant. Why is she so gone from the sport? Why is nobody talking about her but hate from the media? That's how it goes. That's how it goes. You're as good as long as you give what the media people and the powers that be wants. As soon as you don't give it no more, you're gone. Now let's talk about Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark wasn't really a household name that I knew of. Now, did I follow WNBA? No. Did I follow female college basketball? No. Right? But when somebody popped off, I knew about it. So when Angel Reese and that's her name, Angel Reese, yeah, and Caitlin Clark started having those beefs, that's when they became, being noticed. That's what everybody was talking. So, okay, we got some beefs. We got all this crap going on. People started taking notice, right? But it wasn't Caitlin Clark by herself. Angel Reese was right there too. Now, I'll say Angel Reese was kind of a handful or whatever, right? Then she was gone for a minute. Then it was all about Caitlin Clark. Now, she broke the 3-point scoring record that freaking Steph Curry had. Then they had the male versus female 3-point shooting, which she did a good job. She almost beat Steph Curry, but Steph Curry took it out in the end like he always does. So that was enough to give her some good attention, right? But then they really gave her the attention, right? She was supposed to be the next freaking, big female star ever, right? She's supposed to be better than everybody else. She's supposed to be the next great height. You know what I'm saying? She's supposed to be the one to take female basketball into the stratosphere, kind of like Ronda Rousey. They put all their eggs in one basket. She's going to be the next great white hype. That's how it goes. They pick one and they put everything behind them. So now she's getting all the media attention, right? She's getting huge sneaker deals. She's getting all this money, wearing Versace and whatnot, all the red carpets, right? Where all her counterparts who are just as good as her or better wasn't getting it. Who was rolling out red carpets for Angel Reese? They did a comparison between rolling out freaking Caitlin Clark and rolling out Angel Reese, right? Angel Reese had an auditorium with barely no media, no red carpet, hardly anybody in the seats, and they gave her jersey, maybe 1 or 2 cameras. They roll out Caitlin Clark, heroes welcome, red carpet, everybody's there, tons of cameras. She's wearing the latest in whatever the hell females wear that make money. You know what I'm saying? They gave her everything. They barely gave anything to Angel Reese. Okay? But they're both equally as good. So when they both came out, you can say, without knowing any better, you can say Caitlin Clark can draw more attention than Angel Reese. You can say that based on how they laid it all out. So without knowing anything, just looking at what you see on TV, you're going to say, okay, Caitlin Clark is the better brand. Put your money behind Caitlin Clark. It's obvious she can draw eyeballs where Angel Reese can't. That's what they want us to believe. So what happens? Their first games, Angel Reese's first game, Caitlin Clark's first game. Caitlin Clark's game is the only game televised. The only game of new breakout stars, or I think the WNBA as a whole. The only one who has live media coverage, right? Angel Reese's debut game, nothing. No televised, nothing. It was all about Caitlin Clark. Fine. That's who they chose, right? But then you have a fan in the stands use her phone to record the game live on TikTok. What happens? Angel Reese's debut game off a cell phone gets 2.2 million views. Off a cell phone. No marketing, no anything. She just went live. Now, this person with the cell phone is a nobody. No broadcasting, no huge media buys, no attention. She just simply went live. Was able to generate 2.2 million views from her cell phone. So can you deny Angel Reese is a draw or not a draw? Proof is in the pudding with nothing. With nothing. That's where the hate's coming from. If you threw them both out there equally and one rose higher than the other, meaning Caitlin Clark rose higher than Angel Reese, fine. That's competition, no argument. But when you give everything to one athlete and you give nothing to the other athlete, but then the other athlete is still shining just as bright with nothing, you see the problem. You see the problem. That's where the hate is coming from. They're getting all behind Caitlin Clark. Well, Angel Reese has the potential to do just as good if you give her the opportunity to shine, which you're not going to do. You're not going to televise her. You're not going to broadcast her. You're not going to give her any kind of exposure, right? You're not going to put no kind of money behind her. She's going to make it on her own, where Caitlin Clark gets all the attention. So naturally, what can you say? Right? You openly saying, this who we pick. We don't pick you. Well, you just as good of a player and can put eyeballs on the sport, but we just choose her. That's it. That's where the hate is going, where they show you who we pick, whether they're the best or not. Is Caitlin Clark the best? I can't really say that. Okay? When you put everything behind her, you can see how she could be the draw. Can Angel Reese beat her in the heads up? Possibly. Can Angel Reese draw in the numbers? It looks like she can. So why not take a chance? See what I'm saying? So that's where the hate's coming from. It's when the media boost up who they want to be the star, whether they deserve it or not. Okay? And you got all the sellouts who are going, look, my boss says Caitlin Clark is the best. We got to say Caitlin Clark's the best. Right? But then everybody else on TikTok, everybody else going, she's not the best. She's good, but she ain't the best. Right? Ronda Rousey was good for her era, but then when everybody caught up, she got knocked out twice and gone. She didn't stay and re-dominate. We show that she's the dominant one. Right? Holly Holmes is still fighting. Right? Nunes just retired as double champ. You see what I'm saying? Right? But since the UFC and the powers that be picked Ronda Rousey to be the best, to be the star, to break all the records, she's the one that got it. That doesn't mean she was the best. In my opinion. It's all my opinion, of course. Right? So we're going to see how this is going to go. Right? But that's where the hate is coming from. Right? If it was a fair across the board and the best rose to the top, fine. Right? But that's not the case. They're handpicking who they want to be the best and give everything to. Now let's hope Caitlin Clark can live up to it. Ronda Rousey fell apart and went mental. All right? And everybody hates her guts. And she's out the sport, basically, right? Can Caitlin Clark do a better job? Can she not implode under the pressure? Right now, she got tons of turnovers. She's making some key shots, right? But is she winning right now? The answer possibly is no. Possibly is no. For everything they threw at her. Now, granted, the pressure is high. The pressure is high. I don't know what you think. When you got all eyeballs on you, every missed shot is going to get scrutinized. I wouldn't want to be Caitlin Clark for nothing in the world. All the money is great, but then so go all the headaches. It is what it is. All right, that's all I got. This is Coach D, doing what I'm doing, calling it like I see it, talking my share of shit. Till you hear from me again, peace out.